Hey everybody, welcome back to DANZII'S recipes. So today we are doing one of my favorite dishes. So before we get into all of that, a couple different things about this video. So first, we are doing a quick collab with CariMed. They are the distributor of Ronzoni pasta. So basically that pasta in the blue box, they're the distributors. So following this clip, I will be doing an unboxing just to show you guys the different pasta varieties that they have, the different types of pasta that they have. And I know you might be thinking, okay, but we all know pasta varieties, but there are a few new ones that they have catering to specific groups and stuff, and catering to specific types of people. Secondly, I will be making lasagna. Now, I don't have a favorite dish. Most of you guys should know this by now, but this is one of my favorite dishes to eat. So I don't have like an all-time favorite. I just have a bunch of stuff that I like, and this just so happens to be one of them. So we are gonna be making a nice pork and beef lasagna, and we are going to be doing a little spin here and there in certain of the elements, while just trying to keep it traditional at the same time. Also guys, this is a giveaway video, so I'll be giving away a couple boxes of pasta from Ronzoni. I will be asking a question some point in the video, so it is important that you guys watch the video in its entirety if you'd like to win a free box of pasta. Who doesn't love pasta? So in the comments down below, be sure to leave your answers, and I will be selecting 2 lucky persons to win a couple boxes of pasta, like I said, courtesy of Ronzoni. So anyways, we're going to get right into it, you guys. I believe that you guys will like this video if you also are a lasagna fan. It's really tasty, you guys. Like, it's, kid you not, I said it before, this is probably one of the greatest lasagna dishes I've ever made, and it is also because I've tweaked my traditional recipe of it, and I'm sharing that with you guys. So I hope y'all will enjoy it. Do let me know if you have any questions regarding substitutions in the comments down below. Let me know if you have any questions overall, and I'll be more than happy to answer those. In the meantime though, you guys, don't forget to watch the ads on my channel. Tell a friend or 2 about my channel. Like the videos, watch the videos in their entirety, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll definitely see you guys next week. Alright guys, so basically I got this, it's a gift. It has a bow and everything, from CariMed. They are the distributor of Ronzoni and Prego and a few other brands. So I'm sure there's some interesting pasta varieties in here, and I'm excited to see what is in it. So let's go. So our first variation here today is the penne rigate, and this is good for people who have gluten allergies, who are just trying to be healthy. So this is a good gluten-free option. Next up, we have our veggie pasta. This is made with real carrot, spinach and tomato, so it's a little healthier than traditional pasta because it does have those vegetables. Next, we have regular penne. Most of us are used to this variety. We see these in most pasta dishes just because the whole sauce is really good. Next, we have our bow ties, a little fancier. These are good for Alfredo, nice creamy sauces. You don't see them used a lot though, but they're really good. Next up, our lasagna sheets. This is the variation we'll be using for today's video. Lasagna sheets, pretty standard. They hold up real nicely to sauces and meat and all of the things that we put it through. There is also recipes on the back side of these boxes, so you can always check those out too. Next, we have another type of lasagna sheet. This one is already cooked, so there's no need to boil this one. It's oven ready, so you basically just layer this inside your lasagna casserole. Last one we have is our whole grain, and this is for, you know, folks who are just trying to get their pasta fix and are trying to eat healthier grains. This is a good option for them. So that's it. That's our unboxing video, you guys. So let's go right into it. Alright guys, so the first thing we're gonna start with is rendering out some bacon fat. Now there's method to the madness. We are gonna be using the fat from our bacon to cook our mince beef and pork, and we're also gonna be using it to cook out some of our vegetables. So we're basically just gonna render this out just until our bacon's nice and crispy, and then we are gonna move on to the next step. Alright, so this is basically what your bacon fat's supposed to look like. Nice and clear, almost like cooking oil. And basically we're just going to separate this in two. Leave some in this pan, and then we're going to transfer over some into our larger cast iron, which is what we're going to be browning or ground beef and pork into. So I'm going to do that part off camera and I'll be right back. Alright, so now we're adding in our ground beef, and this is going to be followed by our ground pork. Now there's no seasoning, no nothing on this. We're just browning them up, and then we will get to seasoning afterwards. So you're basically just going to give this a good mix, just so that all of that bacon fat can soak through and give you a nice brown effect. Also, I'm using 1 pound of each, so 1 pound of ground beef and 1 pound of ground pork. Alright, so the liquid that you're seeing, guys, is basically just liquid from the meat itself. You know, because it was in the fridge, so it has some amount of ice in it. So what will happen is that this is going to reduce down. And then if you find that it's not reducing fast enough, it's okay to just skim some of it off. Alright. So like I said it would have, the liquid has reduced down. This is pretty bland, so we're going to start flavoring it as we go along. So now we're adding in our garlic powder, followed by some onion powder. Next we're going to add in some ground coriander along with our salt, and we're adding quite a bit. Next we're going to be adding some smoked paprika and just a touch of cayenne for a nice heat. Alright, so we're just going to give that a good mix, just so that the spices are distributed evenly. So it's pretty dry, so I'm going to be adding a couple ladles of vegetable stock. You can use any stock you have, right? And this is just going to help with you know, bringing some more moisture to our ground meat. So we're just going to give that a little mix, and then we're going to move right along. Alright guys, so we're back. So this is still bacon fat, as I mentioned that we would be doing. So what I'm doing is I dice up some celery, adding that in. And then we're going to be adding in some diced carrots. And we're adding these first because they're a little on the tougher side. So you want them to cook first. And now that these have softened up a bit, we're now going to be adding in our onion, followed by some garlic, and we're just gonna let that kind of, you know, mellow out, get to know each other a bit, and then we're going to head back over to our beef and pork. Alright guys, so I'm using 19 Crimes 2018 red wine. This is distributed by Bedco. I'm using this specific type of wine because it has some nice bold flavors, and we basically want to cook our beef into, you know, real red wine as opposed to like red cooking wine, because this will have more flavor. So we're going to be using just about 2 cups of this, so let's go. Right, so now we're going to be adding in our cooked vegetable, and then we're just going to give that a little mix to get everything nice and incorporated. The next thing we're going to be doing is adding in our 2 cups of that bold red wine. Now we're just going to let this reduce down so that the beef can absorb all the flavor of the wine. So we're just going to reduce this down by about half. Now once this has reduced down, we are going to be adding in our vegetable stock. I'm adding in 2 cups of vegetable stock. Now we're just going to let that simmer down for a bit, and once that is finished, we are going to be adding in our
tomato paste. Now I am using tomato paste because it has a lot of flavor and it is going to help us to basically thicken our sauce. So it does take a bit of elbow grease to mix out. So basically let's just get that mixed out, and then you should have a sauce with the consistency that kind of looks like this. Now it's time for us to add in our tomatoes, followed by our roasted red pepper sauce. You can use your favorite sauce. I just got one out of a can, and then we're basically just going to let all of these flavors mellow out for a bit. Just before we do that though, I'm going to be adding in some thyme, bay leaves, and some rosemary to just kind of sit in that ragu that we're building, just so that we can infuse some flavor. Next, I'm adding in some fresh basil, followed by some fresh oregano, and we're basically just going to let those flavors come together, marry each other, and just have a grand time in this cast iron skillet. And it should take another 30 to 40 minutes to finish cooking. So now we're at our bechamel sauce. So we're going to be starting off with about 3 cups of whole milk, followed by about 2 tablespoons of sugar and a couple bay leaves and about a teaspoon of salt. Next up, we're going to be grating in copious amounts of nutmeg. Also, while we are grating our nutmeg and getting on with our stirring process, the question for the giveaway is list 3 of the companies that I have worked with so far, and you can plug your answers in the comment section down below. Now we're basically just going to bring this to a boil, not too scalding hot, and then we're going to get started on our roux. So we're starting off with a half teaspoon of unsalted butter. We're basically just going to melt that down, then we're going to add in a 1/4 cup of flour. Whisk that together and basically let it cook down for about a minute or 2. Now once that's nice and combined real well, we are going to be adding in our warm milk mixture. So we're just going to be adding that in gradually and whisking it together. The reason why we can add it so fast is because the milk is warm, so it will dissolve pretty quickly. Right, and this is the consistency that you're looking for. Now once your bechamel is at this stage, you're going to be adding in some fresh lime juice and then give that a little whisk. And if you see how it's thickening now I'm adding in just a touch more nutmeg, followed by some freshly ground black pepper. Now we're just basically just going to let that cook for a couple more minutes, and then we're going to be adding in our fresh Romano cheese. You can add about 1/2 cup. Now this is optional, you guys. You don't have to add the Romano in it, and you're basically just going to give that a good mix and let it cook down for another couple minutes. Now we're just going to move on to our pasta. So as is the rule with pasta, you're supposed to have your water tasting like the ocean. It's supposed to be really salty. So now we're just going to be adding in our lasagna sheets. We're going to be cooking these a little shy of al dente. So just before it gets to al dente, we're going to pull it out because we want the structure of our noodles to hold up. So the total cooking time on this is about 8 to 10 minutes roughly. So we're starting off with our meat sauce. We're just lining the bottom of our pan with this meat sauce. This is going to be followed by our lasagna sheets. Now I'm laying down about 4 of these. I'm using a 9x13 casserole dish, and then that's going to be followed by some more of our ragu. Now once we get that ragu evenly distributed, we're going to be adding in our bechamel sauce. That bechamel sauce is going to be followed by our mozzarella cheese for that ooey gooiness, and I'm also using this Mexican blend cheese just for the sharpness from the cheddar. And we're going to rinse and repeat until we are out of ingredients. Right, guys, so this is the end layer. I'm just adding in our remaining bechamel sauce at the top, in no particular order. These are going to just create little pockets of nutmeg flavor. Now I'm adding in some more mozzarella cheese just to top it off, not too much where the ragu becomes unrecognizable, and then we're adding that bacon from the beginning, and I'm basically just going to top the whole thing off with just the remainder of that finely grated Romano cheese. And then this is basically what it looks like, you guys. I'm ready to get this in the oven. I'm doing 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 40 to 50 minutes, just so that the cheese can melt real nicely but not burn to the point where the top becomes unrecognizable. Those lasagna sheets hold up real nicely. Once I'm finished baking, I'm just gonna plate and show you guys the finished product. Alrighty, guys, we're at the end, and this is what our finished product looks like. I've plated everything up. The lasagna sheets held up really nicely. Cooking them al dente gave us the perfect bite, so that when the moisture from the ragu hit it, they held up structurally sound. I would 10 out of 10 recommend Ronzoni. Even outside of this video, it is my preferred pasta brand overall. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to leave the answers in the comments down below. Of course, I hope you guys will give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you have any questions, I'm always happy to answer those. In the meantime, you guys, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll definitely be seeing you guys next week.